Hi everyone, this is Stephen with S.J. Lincoln Realty located in Ballston Spa, New York, and today we'll be reviewing the acquisition of an apartment building a client of ours recently completed in the area. I'll occasionally get asked what's involved with buying a rental property, so I thought this example would be helpful, especially to folks thinking of entering the multifamily space for the first time. This video will focus primarily on the upfront underwriting we did. However, we'll also touch on some general landlord-related topics as well. If you'd like to have a subject matter explained in further detail or have questions relating to concepts not covered today, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to either answer or put out some additional content if there's enough interest. With that said, let's get into it. So here we are on the MLS listing. This deal consisted of a duplex, each unit being a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, as well as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home towards the rear of the property inside the city of Schenectady. For those not familiar with the capital region, we're talking about an area about 30 minutes north of the state capital, Albany, and 3 hours north of New York City. The first thing we'll want to take a look at is if we were to acquire the asset, what can we expect our financial return to look like? So more often than not, when units are rented, that rental income amount will be provided within the listing description. In this case, it was not. However, we requested that information from the listing agent, who was nice enough to provide us a current rent roll, which worked out very well. So we'll take a look at what our numbers are going to look like here. The first floor is currently vacant. However, the second floor is occupied, and that rents for $1,100 a month. The first floor mirrors the second floor more or less, so we can expect that once we do get that rented, we'll be renting that for $1,100 as well. The single-family home in the rear of the property rents for $1,500, and that is currently leased as well. There is a 2-stall garage that is currently not leased. However, our expectation is that that could generate about $65 a month additional income as well. So that's going to get us our gross income. Then we can go down to our expenses. For the mortgage calculation, we'll use the full list price as our starting point. On non-owner occupied multifamily, lenders will typically want to see down payments of 25% of the purchase price. If you intend to occupy the property, however, that requirement shrinks quite a bit. Depending on the product, you can obtain financing up to 97 or even 100% of the purchase price. For this example, we're putting down 25%, so our monthly principal and interest obligation will look like this. While school and county taxes are billed quarterly, it's best to budget monthly, which is what we'll be doing here. The listing description provided an annual tax burden of $10,300, so our monthly will look like this. Utilities are going to be negligible. Each apartment has separate utilities paid for by the tenants, so the only expense here will be a house meter. Think of this like an entryway light or an exterior motion sensor that's separate electric meter billed to the owner. So we'll put that at about $25. Insurance we'll estimate at $125 and water and sewer for $100. Maintenance, this is going to cover expenses like repairing damaged walls or refreshing floors, general issues that come up from time to time. This number is going to be very dependent on the age of the property. On new builds, we may set aside $50 per month per unit for repairs. As this is an older home, we'll say about $75 per unit. Capital expenditures are going to be your big ticket items, roofs, furnaces, things that don't come up often, but when they do, there'll be large expenses. Within the property condition disclosure, which is a requirement of the seller on residential properties in New York under most circumstances, we learned that the single-family home had just recently had the roof replaced. I'm comfortable allocating $65 per month per unit for capital expenditures. And the final expense, vacancy, our long-term projection is 5%. Now that we've tallied income and expenses, we can see what our expected monthly net income will be, which is going to be this figure here. Is this amount good or bad? Well, it depends on the investor and what they're looking to accomplish. Monthly cash flow and appreciation will differ depending on the location and the current market dynamics. Knowing how to calculate net income will, however, give you the framework to conduct your due diligence going forward. Our next step will be to research recent comparable sales in our market. If you're buying a duplex, make sure you're comparing it to other duplexes. Saying a single-family home sold next door for $100 a square foot, so your 4-unit apartment building must also be worth that much, is incorrect. Here we'll take a look at 2 nearby properties that recently sold. Similar age, similar condition, and both consist of 3-bedroom, 1-bath units. Something worth noting, while earlier we mentioned anticipating to receive $1,100 once our vacancy is filled, this owner is only receiving $900 on their 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Our second comp validates the $1,100 figure, but what this does tell us is that perhaps we are near top of range for what the tenant market is willing to bear. We'll see one sale at $57 a square foot, the other at $59. To be cautious, we'll say we're comfortable paying $55. Knowing our square footage and what the market is currently paying on a square foot basis will allow us to calculate what we believe the duplex to be worth. Same thing on the single family building. We're interested in viewing similar nearby properties that sold preferably within the past 6 months. Both are 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. This first sale had twice the lot acreage as the property we're looking to acquire, however does not have a garage. Our second comp is on a slightly more desirable street and therefore deserving of the higher price point. We're going to be comfortable in the $79 to $80 range. So we'll jump back to our calculator and we'll throw it into our calculation for what we're attempting to pay for the property. And congratulations, we did it. So this is what our goal is. Now our initial offer is going to be most likely a little bit less, depending on how competitive your market is. You may need to come in at exactly your target number, or maybe you can be a little more aggressive and start maybe in the 240s. But in today's market, in the capital region for multifamily, your best bet is to start at your highest number, just because there's so much competition out there. So that's going to wrap up today's analysis. As mentioned in the intro, if anything remains unclear, or if there are any topics you'd wish you'd address, go ahead and mention that in the comment section and I'm happy to take a look. If you do live in the capital region and have real estate related needs, whether you're selling a condo or buying an apartment building, there is a link in the description of this video where you can go ahead and schedule a call with me. Happy to jump on and address any concerns or discuss how the process might work. In the meantime, really appreciate everyone checking out the video today. Hopefully everyone got something out of it, and look forward to reading your comments, and hopefully we can all connect soon. Thanks, guys.